It's not magic, but you're either avoiding a task by doing 12 other tasks, using this podcast as body doubling. You picked up your phone to do one thing and somehow ended up here, or it's 2 a.m. and you're in bed, wide awake, mentally organizing your entire life. Either way, welcome. You're exactly where you need to be.
Today we're talking about how do I know if I have ADHD as an adult? ADHD signs, why it's so hard to catch, and what you can actually do next without spiraling into self-diagnosis at TikTok University. All right, welcome back to ADHDiva. How are we doing today? So this episode is for someone who is suspecting he or she is having ADHD, already diagnosed but wants to know more about ADHD, or just to be sent to someone you believe has ADHD, or none of this at all, but just to understand what ADHD is in general.
Yes, exactly. So let's cover the boring scientific part of it really quickly. This is for anybody who doesn't know exactly what ADHD is. So ADHD is attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, which is a terrible name, by the way, but we're going to say why later. So according to the DSM-5, which is, again, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, the 5th edition, the Psychiatry's Bible, like what we said before in the previous episode, ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder defined by a persistent pattern of inattention and or hyperactivity impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development. It's characterized by specific behavioral symptoms present before age 12 that exist in 2 or more settings, say home, school, work, etc.
So ADHD is not a personality flaw or moral failure. It's a neurological condition that affects self-regulation.
Exactly. And there are 3 types of ADHD. Some of you know them already, but we're going to cover these as well for the people who doesn't. The first one is the inattentive type, which, your brain is online, but the tabs are lost. The second one is the hyperactivity impulsivity, which means your body or mind are always on. And the third one, which is my type, is the combined. You get the deluxe bundle.
The Pro Max.
Pro Max bundle. Is this one yours as well?
Yeah, I'm combined. You can be quiet and still have ADHD. Sometimes I'm not quiet, sometimes I am.
Yeah. But the hyperactivity part, is it internal as well?
Yeah, sometimes I look very put together and calm, but inside I have the zoomies.
Yeah, it's the same one for me as well. As a child, I used to have hyperactivity like outwards, like,
yes.
But now it's more inward. But I am definitely the combined type. I got diagnosed this way. So yes, you can be quiet and still have ADHD. Some people don't have the hyperactivity part. That's why it's a very terrible name.
Yes.
Some people don't have the hyperactivity part, and also it's not a attention deficit. It's it's a challenge with regulating the attention. So it's there's no lack of attention. That's it. We now are going to talk about the symptoms. What is the symptom that happens to you the most, though?
So there are a couple symptoms. First would be restlessness. It could be either mental or physical, feeling internally driven, like your engine is idling out loud or loudly, sorry. You might not be running around, but your thoughts are. Second, it would be fidgeting and seeking stimulation, tapping, picking, scrolling, chewing, switching tasks in a millisecond, needing background noise to do anything, but then can't, figure out which background noise. Your brain wants a snack, not silence. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
hyperfixation. Do you want to deep dive on hyperfocus and hyperfixation and let the
Yeah.
know?
This is my point. Well, I have the same things like fidgeting, especially when I was a kid, and restlessness. I'm still having it, especially once I wake up. Like once I wake up, I feel like I just woke up in Walmart just a
Walmart.
night. Yeah, just a night before Thanksgiving, and everything is loud, everything is chaotic, everything is so random. The quality of the thoughts sometimes are great value. Like
That was funny.
really weird. Yeah, so once I just
I
wake up.
like great value, okay?
Yeah, to be honest, some products are really good, but some of it, like no, like no.
Yeah. No, I understand.
But that's how I feel once I wake up and open my eyes in the morning. It's really put you sometimes in a very bad mood. For me, it does, because it's as if you're like just woke up in a really loud environment, but it's all in your
Yeah.
head. So
Right.
definitely relate to that. But for me, the hyperfixation and hyperfocus, oh my god, okay. Some people might feel like this is a superpower, and I feel it's a very good part of having ADHD. Let's just differentiate between the hyperfocus and hyperfixation first, because hyperfocus is more deep, the deep focus that can be productive, usually on something engaging and on a task. But the hyperfixation is intense attachment to a topic or a thing that can take over your time, like really, really eat your time and your money and sleep. So both can feel like magic until you forget to eat or drink or sit correctly for 6 or 7 hours, and you end up really, really tired and really in pain.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
like my muscle stiffness gets really bad.
Yeah. And it's not like you're ignoring it. No, you literally didn't feel it.
Right.
Sometimes you're hyper focused on the good things, and sometimes you're hyper focused on a bad thing, or like scrolling or something. Oh my god.
Right. Yeah. You just kind of like
I
lose yourself in all that. Long-term goals they feel weirdly hard. You can plan a whole wedding in 2 hours, but a 6-month goal feels like I'll start in, a new universe.
yes, they feel like a new life for me. Like after 6 hours, I might be entirely. I feel like it's a different universe. It's really
Yeah.
hard to imagine it.
Right. And
You
then the
have time
timeline.
blindness. Yes.
Yeah, underestimating time or overestimating the future you.
Mm.
I'll leave in 5 minutes becomes I have been in the shower for 40
40
minutes.
minutes. Yes,
Yeah.
the thing is, in my defense, by the way,
Mm.
I believe it or not, sometimes I can actually do a lot of things in 1 hour. But sometimes I end up really exhausted and like cancel the whole thing because it's really
Yeah.
stressful.
Yeah, those days are few though, so we have to remember that your superpower days are fewer than your other days.
You burn out. You cannot be
Yes.
a superhero every day.
Exactly. And it's like sometimes too, it's like all or nothing. I'm lazy or I'm doing everything all at once. So freeze mode, you can't start, executive dysfunction. Tornado mode, you do 17 things or none that are fully finished. It's just such a extreme spectrum, like from one extreme to the other. Your tasks pile up, you forget things, laundry mountain, email graveyard. I was going to do that until it left my brain completely.
Yeah, and the reading the messages and thinking you've already responded, and apparently you didn't.
You didn't.
That
It's
happened
so
to me a
bad.
lot. That's
Same.
awful.
It's not that awful, but it other people do see that as awful. It's neglectful. But hey, life happens.
Yeah.
So procrastination as well. Not
Yes,
from
of course.
lack of caring, of course.
Oh, yeah. Listen, some tasks are like putting a lot of pressure. Not because they're hard, but sometimes you don't know yet how you're going to do them. And this makes me anxious, even if the task is easy. I don't know why. So sometimes if I don't plan to do it now, I just pick a pen and paper and just write down the steps. So when I revisit it, I just know what I'm going to do, and just to start,
Yeah, I do sometimes as well. And for work, like I will just leave my screens up as is. So I know like the next step.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the whole I work better under stress becomes I live under stress. Our bodies get addicted to stress, to cortisol spikes.
Yeah, it's a stimulating.
Mm-hmm.
It's stimulating in a bad way, I know, but still, it
Still
does the trick.
stimulation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, one of the things I used to do when I was a kid also is daydreaming and
Me
zoning out.
too.
I
This
used
one's
to do
big.
both.
Me
Yeah,
too.
did you used to do both? Like being hyperactive, but
Uh-huh.
also daydream and zone out?
Yes. And then when someone would be like, why are you zoning out? I would be like, I'm just resting my eyes.
Oh,
It felt like rest.
I saw a picture of you when you were a kid. Oh, and now I'm imagining saying
Oh,
that as a young
thank you.
Rania.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm
So
resting.
cute.
Thank you. It felt like rest for my brain. Like my brain wasn't thinking when I was zoning out. So,
But were you daydreaming though?
well, zoning out and daydreaming were different for me. So zoning out would be like me just my eyes would unfocus and I would just stare into space and I wouldn't think of anything. But then daydreaming, I would actually think in words, voices, and pictures. Like not different voices, obviously, like I'm not crazy, but like a voice, like a narrator with pictures. And I can see in my brain. I don't know if this is like weird, but like I see visuals and audio, everything in my brain like it would be a movie.
Mm.
Do you think in pictures or sound?
Me too. Yeah, I'm a
Both?
really visual person, so yeah, I do that
Okay.
all the time. And I usually used to do that when I have to be in a very boring class where the teacher
Mhm.
is like doing his best and all, but really boring.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls with ADHD do the same. That's why it's considered undertreated, like,
Mhm.
undiagnosed enough for girls because it's not disruptive to as much as it is for boys to have ADHD. So sometimes the girls in the back of the class is just zoning out and daydreaming and having the symptoms of ADHD, but not the external hyperactivity part. And she get overlooked just because of that. So
Exactly.
yeah, that was a big one for me as a kid. I was
Mhm.
both like externally disruptive and also daydreaming.
Yeah, sometimes it presents itself differently each day.
Yeah, but because being bored was physically painful, like really painful.
Yeah.
Was it the same for you as well?
Yes. I couldn't breathe.
And that used to drive me crazy. I'm really hungry. But anyway, moving to the next part, impulsive spending.
Yeah, we've covered this in previous episodes too. I don't know, something about dopamine and shopping, spending money, it just elevates it. I don't know. It was on sale and it will change my life logic type thing.
We seek novelty in everything, not just shopping, but because
Exactly.
shopping is expensive. Like impulsive shopping is expensive. That's why it's a problem.
Yes.
The other thing for me is to know what is actually urgent and what is not. Like sometimes I feel like everything is urgent. Or nothing is urgent until it's too late, you know?
No, I feel that.
Yeah, when it's too late now, I have to catch the deadline, so I enter my crisis management zone and just in my brain. And now I'm stimulated, so I can do the thing.
Yeah.
And it's really stressing, and yeah. So, what else? Organization struggles. You do struggle organizing your own home or your own thoughts or your own plans. I don't think about the home part because your home is really clean and organized.
You as well. You as well,
Thank
but
you.
yeah, you can be smart and still struggle with systems. Like it's not like my home, it's not about clean, it's just disorganization sometimes with like having a kid and stuff. We had to like put away lots of toys and stuff, and you might be organized in bursts, but then sometimes it just does. Yeah, it collapses.
Yeah, that's me actually in burst. That's good that you mentioned it because sometimes I'm really organized. Sometimes I'm really not. And being organized and having this organizing burst is a little bit making up for the other bursts. That's why you have the illusion of my home being organized. But
No, it really is.
just try to enter the pantry and you'll see what I mean. So
is that why you don't let me back there?
Oh, no, I have skeletons there. That's why.
I'm kidding.
No, I'm kidding. It's a little messy, but not all so bad. But anyway, the other thing or the last thing I'm going to mention is the clumsiness and accidents because I remember when we were both moving. Remember when we used to show each other the bruises and call them as artworks? Remember?
Yes. Yeah, I'm always full of bruises that I don't know how they happened. I don't know because like I don't know, maybe it's an adrenaline. I'm always fast paced. I don't know. Like I'll bump into things. I just don't remember how that happened.
Okay, since we covered the symptoms, why do you think it's really hard to catch ADHD?
It's relatable. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. Everyone forgets things sometimes. The difference is frequency, intensity, and impact when it comes to ADHDers. So symptoms are inconsistent, and ADHD is not consistent. It's like today I'm unstoppable, but tomorrow I can't open a single email.
Yeah, it comes in waves for me, like 2 weeks and 2 weeks. It's really impacted by the hormonal cycle for women. So
Yeah,
this is a
same.
common thing. I used to feel like 2 weeks I'm great. The symptoms are manageable. The other 2 weeks, no, I really need help. The following, no, I think I'm good. I was just maybe having a hard time. And that made me actually not seeking help for so many years until I was like having like 4 weeks bad. And then I felt like, no, I really need help. I think that one of the things also makes it really hard to catch is masking and coping. I feel the more you're smart, the more you will be so good at masking. You know, it's going to be really hard, and girls tend to actually get mature faster than boys. So that's one of the reasons it's really hard to catch ADHD in girls. And so anxiety becomes a motivator, perfectionism becomes a shield, and people pleasing becomes survival.
And then they think I'm fine until their coping system collapses, which is really unfortunate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then mislabels as well.
So you're just too smart and you need to try harder, you're just lazy, or
Adults often get labeled as like lazy or dramatic, disorganized, not trying hard enough, when really they're trying harder than everyone else. But
more. Yeah, even more than
and
anybody else. Yeah.
at their capacity.
So that's it. The symptoms and why it's hard. If you feel those symptoms are ringing any bells, yay, congratulations, okay? You might actually have ADHD. It might be a relief for you because it's not a failure, you're not broken, you might have a real reason behind the struggles, which mean your life can actually improve. Hope is really important in life. If you feel like you might have ADHD, it's really important also to understand why it happens, because understanding the brain side helps you stop blaming your character and stop believing that you're weak. This is just how your brain regulates attention and motivation, impulse, and etc. Please don't do like me. Like, don't keep pushing, asking for professional help. Diagnosis and treatment can change everything.
Yeah. And getting evaluated can help you get the right support. Options people explore with professionals can be coaching and skill building, therapy strategies, medication options, if, that's something you're interested in. I know some people are not. Workplace accommodations, things like that.
And home, and home accommodations as well.
Yeah.
And some people actually are getting way better just by therapy. And you don't have to, go to a psychiatry and all. But you get to try to seek help and be treated as soon as possible. The next point is, do not, guys, you're better than this. Do not diagnose yourself, especially using TikTok videos. Don't do that, please. We do not encourage you doing that, because also
No, we do not.
we can actually put the World Health Organization Adult ADHD Self-Report Scale, which calls the ASRS assessment, in the description that can help you organize your thoughts and help you take the decision of either you really need to seek professional help or not. But it's not, as we said, it's not a final verdict.
And ADHD is not all bad. Some of your best traits might be connected to your ADHD brain. Like, for example, creativity, hyper-focusing on something, really interesting, fast problem solving, humor, passion, big empathy. Yeah, your past isn't wasted. It's an experience that you need to embrace, just like all these great traits.
Yes. And it's actually important to, it's hard, all the past struggles you get to go through. But now, after being treated, you would see how life is, as if you just put on your first glasses, like eyeglasses, and
I can see.
Yes, this experience is really, really underrated. I feel now you know yourself with the intense ADHD, and that you know yourself after being all treated, a little treated. You would never treat ADHD completely, but
Never.
after being manageable, And that would actually make you embrace working on yourself to get better and embrace how hard you've worked before and give you respect. And yeah, at least this is my experience, okay?
Yeah.
Now I know the difference and I feel like, wow, I really did a good job before.
Mhm.
And now I'm being better. I'm doing even better. So
Yeah. It's good to give yourself grace.
yeah. So if this episode felt a little too accurate to you guys,
Yeah, next steps could be writing down the top 5 patterns that affect your life.
yes, and try the ASRS self check.
Consider talking to a qualified professional. And if you loved this episode, share it with a friend who you think has ADHD or might show symptoms of ADHD, or someone you wish would understand you or ADHD better.
And until we see you next time, take a breath, give yourself all the love and help you need, and know that you're not alone. See you next
See
time,
you guys next
ADHDivas.
time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.